Hello and welcome to our weekly weigh-in. Today is Sunday, December 15th, and we are The Downsized. We're the channel that talks about all things GLP-1 related. My name is Laraine Durham.
And I'm Christopher Durham.
And each week we give you updates on our weight, what's going on in our lives, and how our journey is going on GLP-1 medications. I'm taking compounded Tirzepatide, and I've lost 50 pounds taking compounded Tirzepatide. And how about you, Christopher?
We'll go ahead and tell them where you are this week, and then we'll do mine.
All right. So this is week 61 of our weight loss journey. We started last year, September 29th of 2023. Today is December
15th. Yeah.
2024. Time flies. Week 61. So I'm currently in maintenance. I hit my goal of 50 pounds a few months back. And I've been bumping up and down around that 50-pound mark. I started at 193 pounds. I'm a 5'4" and a quarter, mother of three, 55-year-old woman, living out here in the suburbs of Charlotte. And I'm currently on, well, last week I took a 10 milligram dose. So I took a 10 milligram dose last week. I actually lost 1 pound this week. So my total is now 51 pounds down. Today I weigh 142 pounds. Over the course of the past 61 weeks, I've been losing weight steadily every week until I got to my goal. I went all the way up to a 12.5 milligram dose. When I hit my goal weight, then I came down in dose to 10, and then I came down to 7.5, and I did that monthly. I even tried 5. On 5, I found I was just getting too hungry. The food noise was coming back, so I went back to 7.5. And I had been on 7.5 for quite a while. I have a spreadsheet that shows all my progress and my weeks. I had been on 7.5 for a couple of months, and I felt, I don't know, I needed a little more help, especially through the holidays, just getting hungrier. So I went up to 10 last week, and it did great. I lost a pound, down 51 pounds, and that's just where I've been hanging out.
You're awesome. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button. It'll alert you every time we publish a video. For the last, 3-4 months, we've been publishing one every day. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and we like to tell you what it is. I also want to remind you that we are not doctors. Laraine's not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
This is not medical advice. Please make sure that you talk to your physician about your weight loss journey, adventure, as I prefer to call it, your healthcare needs, and make sure you get the right personalized advice for you. We're just a couple in the suburbs who decided to start taking Tirzepatide and start a YouTube channel. So here we are today. Why don't you tell them about where you get your compounded Tirzepatide from?
Oh, I get my compounded Tirzepatide from my online health provider, Mochi Health. Mochi Health is a sponsor of today's video. Thank you to Mochi Health. I've been with Mochi Health since February of this year, 2024, and I see their online doctor. He's great. I check in with him. We talk about my progress, dosage levels, all that kind of thing. Mochi recently dropped the price of their medication. It's $99 a month for compounded semaglutide and $199 a month for compounded Tirzepatide. I take compounded Tirzepatide, and I have through my whole 61-week journey. They also charge a $79 membership fee, so they will work with you with your insurance to see if that $79 membership fee can be covered partially by your insurance. You can go to joinmochi, I think that's right, joinmochi.com and get started today on your weight loss journey.
And let's make sure we tell them the most important thing. First of all, what do you get for your $79?
Oh, you get, that covers your doctor's visits. You can also meet with a nutritionist, a registered dietitian on their website if you want. And for your $79 a month, you can meet with the doctor as many appointments as you want. So it's really easy. You just go online, you click a time. It's a video call, and if something doesn't work with your camera or whatever, my doctor usually calls me because sometimes I can't get the video to work. Which is hilarious, right? Because here I am on the videos. Yeah, so they'll get to you, don't worry. If you're like, oh, I'm not good with my phone or computers or whatever, I can watch the videos, but yeah. So it's really easy. It's really easy.
And they have a wellness plan, which has some other resources with it. So how can people save money is the real question.
If you'd like to start your journey with Mochi, you can use my code for $40 off your first order. My code, it's in the description. I believe it's QIYG, the letter O, and 8. If you use my code, you'll save $40 off your first order, and I'll save $40 off. So they give everybody a code that signs up with Mochi. So sign up today, get your own code, sign up your friends, save $40.
So while this video is sponsored by Mochi, they do not impact any of the other content in it. So this is just us talking about our weight loss and our journey today. But we do appreciate the support. So thank you very much, Mochi. And again, the code is in the description. All right, it's my turn now.
It is your turn now.
Oh, are you sure it's week 60? What did you say?
61.
Did you go back and figure? Because I thought you had lost some weeks in there.
I think I'm short a week because...
She has a spreadsheet, but somehow she lost a week.
Well, I mean, when I first started, well, not when we first started, I guess we started the end of September. When we went on a cruise in January of 2024, I skipped my shot that week, and I did not include that in my spreadsheet, so that made it off.
So there was a whole
week.
time blip, so that entire week just disappeared from your...
Entire week never happened. Christopher took his shot. I skipped my shot that 1 week in January because I was like, I'm going on a cruise. We've got the drink package. I think, And so anyway, I did gain weight over that. I came home, lost weight. And then I decided, you know what? This is our lifestyle now. Mm-hmm. This is what we do. So I've decided I'll just keep taking my shot through life, through vacations and holidays and business trips and whatever, come what may. We take our shot with us when we travel. Mm-hmm. We have a travel case that stores it and keeps it cold. So that's where the week got lost. As keeper of the spreadsheet, I guess I get to decide.
All right, so my week. Let's see. Let's start with the stats. So I'm 56 years old, so a few months older than Laraine.
It's much older.
We've been married for 20 years.
Almost 22.
Oh, yeah, well, that's right, 21 years. Almost 22 in March. See, I lost a whole year. She lost a week, I lost a year. Happens all the time.
Happens.
56 years old, 5'10.5". I started at 286.5 in September of last year when we started. I tell this story every week and people still ask. So that's great. There's a lot of new viewers, so we like to give you all the background. But I was coming out of COVID, I was rapidly ascending, and I would have, I'm sure, been to 300 pretty quickly. So we started the medication. I started on compounded Tirzepatide and did that for a month or so. And then working with my local doctor, which I had blood pressure issues and cholesterol issues and undiagnosed sleep apnea, and I have knee problems. I trust my local doctor implicitly and have seen him for almost most of the 20 years we've been married, honestly. Not all of them, but most of them.
He came to the hospital when our youngest daughter was born, so she's 18.
So I have been very upfront about everything, and working with him, I switched over to branded Mounjaro. And then when Zepbound came out for obesity, I switched to Zepbound and have gone back and forth a couple of times based off of the shortages and so forth. And now most of the time I take compounded Tirzepatide, but I do have a backup of branded Zepbound pens in the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. Now, people ask, why'd you do that? That's more expensive. We all have those questions about these medications, particularly when we first start doing it. And we were just as worried as you guys are for that first shot. We were just as scared. We were just as skeptical. So early on, I wanted to make sure, because I had other health issues, that my doctor was doing blood work, and we were doing blood work every 3 months. And we were really staying on top of it because my blood pressure was an issue, and cholesterol, all of that. And then both of my parents have passed from weight-related issues. My mom passed just a few years older than I am right now. So honestly, I was scared and wanted to make sure that I was going to be here. And although the telehealth is great, I wanted to make sure absolutely that I could see my personal doctor and get blood work and get everything done such that I'm here to walk my daughters down the aisle and see a grandbaby and all those things. So people ask all the time, and the branded is more expensive. So I have both, the compounded and the branded.
And which do you think worked better?
I think it's worked exactly the same. I have
Exactly the same.
Yeah, I have not noticed any difference. The weight loss has been the same. The side effects have been the same. Really, the only difference is the cost. And obviously, with Mochi being at $199, it's a great cost.
Yeah.
And the injection methods are different. So you have a pen versus the syringe. I honestly like the pen better. I'm not one of those that wants to vary my dose a lot. I'm happy with the regular doses. So the pen is very easy. I like that better. All things being equal, honestly, I would rather have the pen than the vial and syringe. Today, my weight this morning, when I weighed, my weight was at 200.3. So for all of you that are counting along, my goal is 190 pounds. Started at 286. That puts me 86 something down. I don't know what the math is there. But it's 2/10 down from last week.
83. Yeah.
No.
286 to 203?
No, 200.3.
Oh, 200.3.
Yeah, not 203, 20.3. Maybe I said it wrong. I don't know.
Maybe. So,
0.3.
So 286 to 200.3.
Whatever that is. It was 286.5 was what my original weight, 200.3. So 86.2 or whatever. I don't know. I can't do math.
85 pounds.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, that's a lot. Yeah.
And for all those who ask, because I started out a year ago losing weight pretty rapidly. So my first month I lost 17 pounds.
That's crazy.
And I stayed moving pretty rapidly through about the first 60 pounds and came off. The last 20 pounds, I'm still losing weight or I'm maintaining, but it has been slow. And I had worked with my doctor very closely and we looked at charts and had long conversations about what did you weigh then and how do you feel? And we've looked at blood work and I've since come off my blood pressure medication and my cholesterol medication. So I'm feeling a lot better. My knees don't hurt anymore really most of the time.
Doesn't snore anymore.
Really for me, honestly, although 190 is the goal is to get below 200 to a sustainable place where I'm not bouncing above 200. So we just feel like that 10-pound extra lead. And I graduated from high school at 186. I can't honestly imagine weighing 186. That sounds absurd to me at this point. But it's been very slow. In the last 3-4 months, it's been slow but steady. And then this week, could I have lost more? Probably. But do I think it's the medication? No, the medication to me is still working just fine. I think we went to a Christmas party. My kids are home for college. They made a big bowl of Chex Mix. So I just haven't been watching what I've been eating as well as I should have. That's an on me thing. That's not an on the medicine thing. But, every week that I can maintain at this weight, I'm happy because I feel good. My clothes fit right.
We've had to buy.
Yeah.
Basically all new clothes.
And this was a weird week. The last 2 weeks were weird because although the weight hasn't significantly moved, I don't know what the science is or if it's just me imagining things, but my body just continues to shift. Such that I started at a 42-inch waist in a pants. So when you
had size 42 pants?
I did, yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I did. So when you buy men's pants versus a 7, 8, whatever, in women's, it's the measurement around your waist. Now, they're very imprecise. Don't ever actually believe that. So we went and bought size 34 jeans just this week.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't lost significantly in several months, but all of a sudden, everything had
just shifted.
Moved around. Now, that medicine science makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm imagining it. I don't know. But I bought a pair of 34-inch 505 Levi's jeans. So 505 are the same as 501s, but they have the zipper instead of the button. It's just startling. I don't even remember wearing 34. I think when I graduated from high school, I wore 32s. So and honestly, yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, I went from a size 12, 14, large, extra large, top, I guess, to a size 4-6. Small, extra. The sweater's an extra small from Banana Republic. What? I'm not an extra small. What is happening? And I never, in any point in my life, was a 4-6 pants. That was not. Growing up in high school, I was solid 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I think I graduated from high school. I was about 220 pounds. So to go from a size 12, 14 to a size 4-6, nothing really fits. I even put on some shoes. We went to a party, some friends in the neighborhood last night. I put on some shoes, these little short boots that had always hurt my feet a little bit, had been a little bit too snug. And I put them on and they were like, oh, these don't hurt my feet anymore. I guess my feet got a little bit smaller. So
yeah, I mean, I have shoes now that don't fit, that I just step right out of. But my feet are a full size smaller.
Yeah.
But now we're getting ready to go on a cruise over the holidays, and I'm a little worried about losing my wedding ring if we go swimming.
You have to put like a sizer on it or something.
Maybe I need to order one from Amazon. I know they have them, but it's just...
We could go in a jewelry store probably and get that done. Yeah,
But I couldn't take I had gotten, at 286, I was so big that I had to not wear this ring, and I got another one off Amazon.
One of those silicone rings.
Because it was hurting me. It was cutting the circulation off in my finger. So now, it's loose.
So I guess almost 22 years ago when we got married, I was probably a size 12, maybe 10 on a good day. And when we got my ring done, it was a little snug. Like it was too snug. And when we had our youngest child, it was so snug that I went to go get it cut off because it was like hurting me. But now it's not, my wedding ring isn't going to fall off, but all my other rings this one's still tight. This is my Clemson class ring I wear every day. They're still tight, but like some other rings are just so loose. My mom gave me some of her rings that she didn't wear anymore because she has arthritis and her knuckles are big and she couldn't get them on her finger, so she gave them to me. And now those rings are too big for my finger, so I guess we can resize them or have the sizer things put in. Or
I think I can order them on Amazon and have them here tomorrow, honestly. Anyway, so that's my story this week. So honestly, I don't even consider it down. 0.2, that's a margin of error for the scale.
Yeah, and I guess over Thanksgiving, a couple weeks ago, we were both up a couple pounds over Thanksgiving. So that's where but right now, today at 142, I'm looking back at my chart. I think this is the lowest I've been. So I'm 51 pounds down. I was 51.6 in September. And then we went on a cruise. And I gained a little weight on our September cruise. So it's just but the daily, we do weigh ourselves daily. I like to see the daily weights. The daily fluctuations don't bother me. I feel like if I go too many days without looking at my weight, it's going to get out of control, because that's what's happened every other time in my life. So I do like to keep an eye on it. You have to keep in mind that it's just a data point, okay? It doesn't define who you are. It's just a number. So it's hard to really actually feel that in your soul, I think sometimes. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, very good. Ooh, let's see. What else went on this week?
We went to that Christmas party last night. I met someone who used to live in the neighborhood. Then they moved out of the neighborhood to a different house. And I'd never met this lady before, and she was asking me what we did, and I was describing our other marketing business, and then I said, and also we just started a YouTube channel. I started telling her about it. She goes, I'm on compounded Tirzepatide too. And this is someone that I certainly wouldn't have thought had ever had a weight problem like that. And it's funny how many people we talk to and tell them about this, and they're like, oh, I've heard of that, or I'm on that, or my friend's on that, or tell me more about it. And she was a registered dietitian, and I was telling her about Mochi Health, and she couldn't believe the prices. Those were the best she'd heard of. So we made business cards. I gave her my business card with our YouTube channel on it, and she was going to recommend Mochi to some of her clients. So you just never know who you're going to talk to and I've gotten over the whole oh, you're taking weight loss medication? Yes, and actually it was at this same party 2 years ago where my friend Elaine, I hadn't seen her in a while, and I saw her and she had lost some weight. I thought, oh, you look great. Tell me what you're doing. Because we had been to Weight Watchers together. We had done diets together. I tried to go get her to jog with me at one point. And she said, I'm taking some medicine. And I'm like, what kind of medicine? And she said, it's called Mounjaro. And 2 years ago, I'd never heard of Mounjaro. Never heard of Tirzepatide or what. So I went home, Googled Mounjaro, found out about it, tried to figure out how to get it. And you do need a prescription. You need a doctor's order to get it. And I had asked my doctor many times over the years, can you please help me? And her response was always, you just need to diet and exercise. And I'm like, lady, you know what? I run 2 half marathons. I go to Weight Watchers. Like, what? It's just, I can only get to a certain point. I could get down to about, I think my lowest point was like 175 pounds. And I felt pretty good at 175 pounds, but I was still in the overweight, maybe even obese category for a 5'5" woman. I used to be 5'5" and I shrunk. But anyway,
the never-ending tale of the shrinking Laraine.
Yeah, really annoying.
Well, so a few people asked about how we met and the whole origin story, so to put it. You want to tell that story?
I don't know what you want. Why don't you tell it?
Why don't I tell?
So it was 21 years ago, almost 22,
really 22
years ago, because we met, it was July. I don't remember the year, but you can math it back.
Yep.
22 minus 24 must have been 2002?
I don't know.
2001?
Sure. It's a math thing. I don't know.
Something like that. It must have been 2002. Anyway, so early 2000s. So, I mean, I was a single mom with a 3-year-old son. I was working full time. My parents helped me watch my child during the day while I worked, and anyway, I was very busy. I was traveling. I was working full time, and I had just started to date. I had been divorced for a while, and
A couple years, right?
Yeah, and I had dated. People had set me up with people. Never started looking at online dating. It had just come out. So I went on a few online dates, and then this one popped up.
Oh, yeah.
We met through online dating.
Yeah.
And it was really the very beginnings of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
now it's like no big
everybody
deal,
knows it.
but back then we were like, ooh.
And we didn't tell anybody for a decade how we met.
It's kind of like being on weight loss medicine. You don't want to tell anybody you're on weight loss medicine. We didn't want to tell anybody we met online dating.
I was 34 years old at the time.
You'd never been married.
I had never been married. Got close a couple of times. Thank goodness I didn't, because there was some. There's always stories.
We wouldn't be here today.
There's always stories. No, we wouldn't be here. But I was to a point, I think I hit 30 and I decided, okay, it's about time to get married, and started looking more. I wasn't really looking before that, just taking it more seriously, let's say. And got to a point particularly and I had same with Laraine, dated from people from my friends, people you meet at a bar, people online, just wherever. It got to this point where if I went out for a couple of months and it wasn't working out, you just knew. I was like, nope, done. Just fish or cut bait. No, next.
Thank you,
nope,
next.
I'm not wasting my time on you anymore.
Yeah.
And we had been talking through this and I don't even think the site we met on existed. I don't even remember what it was, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was acquired by Match or somebody else bought it. I don't know.
Pre-Match.
And we were supposed to, have our first in-person meeting, our first in-person date. Like that week, she sends me this email. She's like, "Oh, my grandma died." I'm like, well,
she really died.
Yeah, I'm like, do I take this personally? Did she really die, or is she just ghosting me? Which that term didn't exist 20 years ago. Turns out she really died.
She did. My grandparents lived out in California in San Diego, and I was living in South Carolina at the time. And my grandmother died of colon cancer at age 80. Yeah, she had battled that for a while, and then she passed away in July, and we were supposed to go out, and oh no, he's going to think
It
I'm.
must have been late June, honestly, because you were.
It was over the 4th of July, I
Yeah,
think. We
yeah.
went to
Well,
her
yeah.
service, her memorial service. So, yeah, so I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not making this up. Like, I'm going to California. And so then when I came back, we did end up going out.
Obviously.
We did. Because here we are today. So we went out and we were like, I don't know, you tell it. You tell it.
Oh, so she got back from her grandmother's funeral, and within a few days of that, we connected and went out to an Italian place. In Greenville, doesn't exist anymore. I don't think the building exists anymore, but had a great time, and then we're inseparable, honestly. And then I think we both, and I won't speak for you because obviously you're still here, but we both just went, okay, this works.
Yeah.
Our little boy was cute. Now wanted kids anyway, so that was all good. And then we just spent a lot of time together, such that from basically the 4th of July to Thanksgiving of that year, I proposed. So it was pretty quick.
That was pretty quick.
Pretty quick. And then we were married that following March.
Yeah. So
I'll put a picture of the wedding in there if you guys like. You can see.
yeah, so I think we knew each other for 6 months when we got married. Maybe 7 months.
Something like that.
Something like that. I mean, it was fat. But, we were older. How old when we got married?
I think I was 35,
34, 35. And we wanted to have more kids. So we knew,
I didn't have any question.
we didn't want to waste any time, I guess.
I mean, my mom was like, are you sure this is what you want to do? I'm like, yep, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we got married in March of 2003.
Yep.
And, we started trying to get pregnant and had our daughter in September 2004. And then had another daughter in June of 2006, and I was 37 at the time, so that was unexpected, but it worked out great. Yeah.
Well, so I'll pop a picture from the wedding. And so we got married at this big house in Greenville, South Carolina called the Gasaway Mansion. It had been a old house and a museum for a while. This picture's actually, I'll show you probably a couple from it. So what did you weigh in that when we got married?
I was trying to think. I weighed maybe 160. I had tried to lose, you always try to lose weight for your wedding, right? So I had lost some. I think I was probably in the 180s when we met. I think I got down in the 160s. And somewhere around 160, 165. So probably 20 or 30 pounds more than I weigh right now.
And I think I was about 238, 40 maybe.
So 30, 40 pounds more than you weigh right now.
Probably almost 40 pounds.
Yeah. So, I mean, we weren't slim people. We were just average size people. Yeah.
Anyway, so almost 22 years later, here we are today.
Yep.
Kids in college, empty nesters.
Fast. It goes fast, right?
It's crazy. So Christmas is coming up. What are we doing for Christmas?
We are going to Charleston to see my sister and her family and my parents. And then the day after Christmas, we're going to get on a cruise ship out of Charleston, South Carolina, and go to the Bahamas and back. Quick little
4-night cruise.
Quick little cruise, yep. And I'm looking forward to that.
But we'll do a weigh-in from the cruise ship. So we'll do one of these on the cruise ship.
I'm going to take my shot on the cruise. We're going to take our shots with us. We have an insulated travel case. Works great. You freeze little cold packs, and there's a little temperature gauge on the outside. We've got a link to it if you want to check it out at thedownsized.org.
Correct.
I always forget if it's .org or .com. .org. And we have an Amazon store. We're Amazon affiliates, so we may make a small commission off each purchase.
It's not even a may. We will make a small commission.
We do make a small,
Doesn't change your price, but
it's just a link through to the product. And we have other things on the store like protein drinks that I like and constipation remedies that I like because I have to still manage that. Even, being on this a year, it's still something I manage. So, check it out at thedownsized.org.
And then we also, if you'd like to be more of a part of what we do and support the work that we do, publishing videos every day and hopefully creating some great content, you can become a member of Club Downsized, which is our YouTube membership. So if you look underneath the video, there's a join button. You can click that and it'll tell you all about it. There's 3 or 4 levels there. The opportunity, we do a members only live stream before our main live stream. So for about an hour, much smaller group, you can actually come on camera and talk to us there, and we'll answer questions as best we can, understanding that, of course, we're not doctors. And then there's a special icon that comes with your name so everybody can see you're a member of Club Downsize. There's emojis, there's discounts on swag, there's all kinds of fun stuff that we're doing. But all of our content will be free, so no worries on that. But if you would like to support us, we would deeply appreciate it, but it's not required. So that's that. And then, of course, we will do our live on Wednesday at 7. And you can come on, ask questions, talk to the community. If we don't know the answer, there's usually 100 or 200 people on there, and somebody on there knows the answer to something.
Yeah, so usually people have questions, and we can tell you what we've learned, our experiences, and chat with the community.
All right. Anything else going on this week? Did you have a workout story?
I've been doing some harder workouts. I've been doing some more classes with weights and more high-intensity interval training kind of classes. I did one on Friday. My arms are still kind of sore from that. It's hard to know which level of weights to pick up when you're doing these classes, so I went toward a heavy one for me, but looking around the class, it was light compared to other people in the class, but it was still heavy for me. So we did things like step ups, and we did things like burpees, and we did things like lift weights. And at the beginning of the class, he had us run 2 laps around the track. So at this gym where I go, there's an indoor track, so 11 times around is a mile, and he had us run around twice, and I was like, oh, because I don't run anymore. I've always hated running. I just did it to lose weight, and now I'm like, all right. And as I'm running around the track, I'm like, I'm keeping up with the group. Usually, whenever I ran with a group, I'd be at the very end and then behind, because I was such a slow jogger. But now I was able to keep up with the group. I was able to breathe, and so I was like, it's a lot different, 50 pounds down running. Because when I was doing all the running and the triathlon and all that, I was probably around 190 pounds. So now at 140, 42 pounds, it's definitely easier. You don't realize what you're carrying on your body until you're not carrying it anymore.
That's us for this week. If you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell button. It will alert you every time we publish a video. I would bet this week we will go live probably on the 19th. We are supposed to hear back from the FDA and the OFA about the compounded Tirzepatide question. So we'll see what happens there. So stay tuned. When it happens, we will come live to you, I'm sure, and tell you what's going on. And then look for some more videos, of course, this week. We've got some great interviews. Laraine did a panel. What's the panel that's going to be on?
We did a panel with some ladies who had weight loss surgery. Gastric sleeve, I think, was the most popular one among them, and the RNY, gastric bypass procedure, was also a procedure that one of them had. I haven't had bariatric surgery, but I've seen a lot of people who are now on GLP-1 medications that have formerly had gastric bypass surgery. So I was curious as to what the differences were. Would they do it again now that we have GLP-1s? And when would bariatric surgery maybe still be appropriate? So it was a very interesting conversation. And I guess with any weight loss procedure, even with GLP-1s, everybody's different. Everybody's body reacts to it differently. But it's always interesting to hear other stories, hear something that might catch your attention, or say, oh, I was like that, or that happened to me, or I did that. So I always like to get other people's points of view, other people's stories.
And there was 4 ladies who I think between them had lost almost 700 pounds over the course of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So the insights they had are applicable to everybody, regardless of whether you've had bariatric surgery.
Yeah, 2 of the ladies had been over 400 pounds when they had bariatric surgery. And I think they had lost weight with bariatric surgery gained some of it back or all of it back, and then started again with GLP-1s over time.
So that'll come on Tuesday, so look for that. And then we'll have a lot more coming into the new year. Of course, the new year is always that time when a lot of people in the real world say, oh, maybe I need to lose some weight.
Yes, like I did every year of my adult life. Oh, New Year's resolution. I want to lose weight. I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. I'm going to lose 40 pounds this year. So, I mean, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're just starting a GLP-1 medication or thinking about starting one, definitely talk to your doctor. And I'd say the pharmacies are going to be quite busy in January. So go ahead and get started now with that doctor conversation.
And we'll have some videos, I'm sure, that'll be focused on people that are out there looking and saying, hey, maybe I need to lose weight for the beginning of the year and making those New Year's resolutions. I'll give you my single biggest tip right now. Take the shot. If you're not sure, take the shot.
Right. It can't work if you don't take the shot.
All right, so that is us for this week. Thank you for joining us for the Downsized Weekly Weigh-In. I'm Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Downsized. See you next time.
Bye.